The first public appearance today for the man authorities believe infected dozens of young women with HIV. Nushawn Williams appeared in a New York City court for sentencing on drug charges that are unrelated to the AIDS scare that he sparked. ABC's John Miller tonight on his day in court and his years on the street.
Prison officials worried about death threats transported Nushawn Williams under heavy guard today. In court, Williams' sentencing for selling crack was postponed, pending psychological evaluation. Meanwhile, prosecutors were looking at possibly charging Williams with knowingly passing along the AIDS virus to scores of women.
We have, I think, options that would likely be considered crimes like reckless endangerment, attempted assault, and perhaps attempted murder.
But prosecutors stressed attempted murder charges requires them to prove intent on Williams' part, and that, they said, would be difficult. His sister said he knew what he was doing.
Do you think he would have sex with those girls knowing he was HIV positive?
Yeah, because he felt he don't have nothing to live for.
Nushawn Williams grew up in a rough section of New York City called Crown Heights. Before he was 18 years old, he had an arrest record including charges of assault, robbery, auto theft, even murder, though he was acquitted on that charge. But talking to the kids who grew up with him, they remember a very different young man.
He was just a comedian.
Yeah?
Yeah. Always cracking jokes, acting silly, dancing funny.
He was just like a cool dude. He was just, I don't know, he was just suave.
Hard to believe, looking at this mugshot. But by this time, according to a childhood friend, Nushawn had become a low-level drug dealer.
I guess he was doing his thing, you know, he was surviving. That's how he looked at it. He was trying to survive.
Rodney Pryor was a lookout for Williams, who was making $300 or $400 a day selling crack. But Pryor says when he went from selling to smoking crack, Williams degenerated into a homeless addict trading crack for sex.
He was mostly messing with crackheads, probably like 30, 40.
While legislators proposed stiff new sentences for the next case like this one, quietly, women who did go with Nushawn Williams are wondering what sentence they received. John Miller, ABC News, New York.
Police say an HIV-infected drug-dealing suspect, Nushawn Williams, is in custody in a New York City jail. This man may have deliberately exposed dozens of Mayville High School students to the virus by trading drugs for sex. That, according to the police. At least 11 young women have tested positive for the HIV virus. CBS's Jacqueline Adams has the Health Alert Mayday from Mayville.
This is the face that's horrified New York's rural Chautauqua County. A 20-year-old reputed drug dealer with 10 aliases who's allegedly spread the virus that causes AIDS indiscriminately.
Known to us by the name of Nushawn Williams. He's also known by the name of Shaitik Johnson, the street name of Face. I characterize it as despicable and criminal. This is an individual, knowing that he's infected with HIV, had multiple sex partners thereafter.
The fear here in Chautauqua County cannot be overstated.
It is the worst public health issue that I've ever had to deal with in my life.
Officials say that Williams learned he was HIV positive in September 1996 and left the area in January 1997. They've identified 28 women with whom he allegedly had sex during that period, the youngest age 13. Of that number, 11 have tested positive for HIV. But officials fear that number could grow geometrically because so far they've identified another 70 people whom they allege had direct or indirect impact with Williams or his partners in this county alone.
This story has begun here, okay? Has just begun here.
And where will it end?
With a much larger story.
So far, officials here have charged Williams with rape, but they're contemplating far more serious multiple assault charges, which could effectively keep him in prison for life. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, Mayville, New York.